Welcome back, folks. Let's get straight into the action with Chaos Space Marine Turn 2. The Rhino with Nurgle Marines inside rumbles through the ruins, seizing an opportunity to attack the Blood Angel's right flank. And the Defiler decides to scuttle behind this wreck. The Sorcerer gets going with his jump pack, and the Noise Marines jump down from the tower and saddle up in the Rhino. They storm towards the Blood Angel's left flank. The Sorcerer uses his Malediction, Gift of Contagion on the Assault Marines, and passes his Psych test. So on a roll of 2, he successfully afflicts them with the Flyblown Palsy effect. This makes them lose 1 attack, but gain the Shrouded special roll. Shooting begins with plasma cannons at the Captain's squad from the Obliterators. They don't get hot, then begin rolling for Scatter, deducting their ballistic skill of course. Unfortunately the squad was quite grouped together there, so all in all 9 hits are inflicted, which, long story short, massacres the unit. They're rolling a few lookout sirs here to try and take some of that damage off with the Captain's invulnerables, I think, but it ultimately is to no avail. The squad is cut down. The last few wounds in the pool end up on the Captain himself after this last Marine goes down, so the Captain actually has to make some invulnerable saves to see if he survives. And in the end, he fails one of them, so he takes a wound. Before he can recover, the battle cannon from the Defiler has a crack. Big blast here, bang on. And of course easily scores a wound. Another invulnerable save to be made then, and he makes it. The Sorcerer joins this bloody melee to help finish off the Assault Marines. In fact, he attacks first with 4 attacks. He rerolls for Hatred, but fails that one. But nonetheless, he manages to score some more AP3 wounds too there. More dead Blood Angels. Then the rest of the Chaos Marines attack. The orange dice are for the Power Sword. 2 wounds from regular Marines there, and will the Power Sword wound? No, it fails. 2 saves and 1 more dead Blood Angel. The Blood Angels can now retaliate, still under the effects of that nasty malediction. They get lots of hits, that's very impressive, but fluff their wounds. So at the end of that combat, the Blood Angels do lose and have to take a morale check, which they fail. However, when they make their roll to get away from the Chaos Space Marines, they are caught, so the combat continues for another round. Can the Blood Angels turn the tide? Let's find out in turn 3. The surviving Bile Predators maneuver, this first one here, backs off a little bit. And the one positioned under the arch, that's been there most of the game, shuffles backwards as well after passing its terrain test. The Captain decides to be better off behind these ruins for a while, unsurprisingly. He is tucked back there with some Devastators and a combat squad holding that objective. Straight to shooting then, and just about through the crack there between the ruins and the tank, this combat squad las cannon spots Deathy and decides to try and snipe him. He does hit and manages to glance. Deathy fails his cover, so he's down to 3 hull points. Next, the combat squad las cannon has a crack from those ruins. They also hit, and that's another glance. 1 cover save to be made for the Defiler then. Nope, that's another hull point gone. He's down to 2, and before he can recover, here comes the Devastators. Plasma cannons, they do not get hot, so they're going to roll for Scatter now. I believe the cannons are strength 7. The first one isn't going to deviate at all, so that's bang on. and the second one rolls a direct hit. Now for the rest of the squad, as if that wasn't bad enough, these are the missile launchers with cracks, but they miss. So one pen still makes it through. Demonic saves for Defi to make here, but he rolls a 1 and takes a hull point. Long range missile weapon, going for Defi again. They're desperate to take him down here. This is using a Signum, so it's on 2s to hit, and it manages to hit. But it doesn't get through. The Defiler stands strong. The Bulb Predator lets rip at the approaching Rhino, which has popped smoke. It's using assault cannons here, and twin linking its way to some good hits. It needs 5s to glance and 6s to pen, and gets 1 penetrating hit there, so let's see if the Rhino can make its smoke cover save. Unfortunately not. So that's 1 hull point and a true stun result. Let's see if it can survive the next volley. This is from the other Bulb Predator. Once again twin linking, scoring 3 hits. And then it manages 1 pen and 1 glance. Smoke cover saves between this tank and certain death now. Let's see if it can survive. 2 cover saves to be made. 1 fails and 1 passes. Still, that's not enough. That's the last hull point. Let's see what penetration does. It explodes! Boom! Down goes the Rhino. How far does it explode? 6 inches. Well, there's no one nearby to get hurt except the Noise Marines inside, but that Rhino is history. In comes a suitably sized crater, and we'll see some very confused and dizzy looking Noise Marines clambering around in there. No casualties from the blast, but they are stranded. Next up, the combat has been raging most of the game. The Sorcerer actually misses all of his attacks, so we go straight to the Nurgle Marines and Champion. The orange dice are the AP3. They score some hits and wounds and actually kill 2 Marines there. The AP3 are the ones that are doing the damage. The Blood Angels are still actually affected by the malediction, so they have 1 less attack, but they still try and get some blows in there. A couple of hits, but they're up against toughness 5, so there's no wounds. This fight will continue, both sides showing true defiance. Time for some chaos retaliation. First up, the Defiler crab walks a bit, getting ready to shoot at these guys on the ruins, and the Obliterators stomp down from the ruin, as they do so revealing the objective near them, which is in fact a targeting relay, which lets them reroll 1s while shooting. The surviving Rhino, with Nurgle Marines inside it, guns its engines forwards. And the recently stranded Noise Marines stomp forwards, going for the Blood Angels backfield. They decide to run as well, getting as far forward as possible, hoping to deal death to this lonely combat squad. Back to the Daka with Obliterators now, using las cannons at the Blood Angels holding the objective far in the distance. And that's a bad miss. Now for the guys inside the Rhino snapshotting, and they somehow roll a double 6, but dice gods work in mysterious ways. Bob makes both his saves though. Now let's not forget the Defiler, eager to deal out some pain. It uses its big blast battle cannon and gets a nice dead on target. And does 3 wounds. Bob fails 1 cover, so that's 1 more dead angel. Back to the battle for center field here, with the last few Assault Marines battling the Nurgle Knights, now supported by the Sorcerer. The Sorcerer attacks first, managing 1 hit. It's AP3, so that's 1 dead angel. Next, the Champion, needing 4s. He also has a power sword on him, and that's another dead angel. And then the regular Nurgle Marines, who get 3 hits and do 2 more wounds. Both are saved by Bob though. The Angels strike back. couple of hits there, but they just can't get through that toughness. A leadership test is required. And it's a fail. The last angel is getting the hell out of there. He manages to score 10 to run away, which definitely beats the chaos, so he makes a tactical withdrawal. 10 inches, he's gone. So that combat finally ends, and chaos have that victory. The rest of the Marines join up with the Sorcerer and consolidate, probably feeling quite pleased with themselves. And to add insult to injury, the Defiler regens a hull point with It Will Not Die. Blood Angels turn 4. The disciplined Space Marine left flank maneuvers to counter the approaching threat. As you can see, this combat squad is moving up, gunning towards the Noise Marines. And the sole survivor of the Assault Marines considers early retirement. This combat squad opens up. Its snap-firing las cannon is the white dice. So a bunch of bolters hit there. They score 5 wounds in total. Here come the armor saves. Wow, only 1 dies. This bold predator now with assault cannons and bolter sponsons and a storm bolter, getting loads of hits. 7 wounds there, one of them rending. But an amazing armor save roll, only 1 more dies. 2 in total, 1 from the rending. The other predator without sponsons fires its assault cannon. Manages 2 wounds there, 1 rending, so that's 1 Noise Marine insta-killed. But the other makes his save. Next, the Devastators unleash hell. Blue dice here are the heavy bolters, and then there's a missile launcher and a plasma. Everything hits. Long story short, that was a devastating volley of fire. It actually kills a whole bunch of Chaos guys. In the end, there's only a Sorcerer and 1 Marine left. Then the other Devastators open up on the Defiler. Gets hot rolls. Oh, one of them does get hot. He'll need to make an armor save here, which he does make. So a couple of missile and 1 plasma. The plasma scatter first, that's a hit. And then the 2 missile launchers both hit as well. The Defiler takes 2 pens. He's got to make some demonic cover. He makes 1, so that's another whole point gone from missile launchers. He's down to 1. The Sorcerer's unit actually got shot up, so it has to take a morale test and passes. So there you have it. The Blood Angels hold their objective while the Chaos are coming to contest. The Noise Marines are being encircled on the Blood Angels' left flank. Chaos Space Marine turn 4. The last few Noise Marines dig deep and trudge towards the Blood Angel combat squad in the distance. And the sole survivor of that Devastator barrage legs it behind the wall. The Sorcerer does not withdraw, however. He has other plans. He passes his psychic test on an 8, then tries to fire off that mean malediction ability he used earlier. It's got a 48-inch range, and you can just about see the enemy Warlord. But Bob denies the witch. His evil plan thwarted, the Sorcerer retreats behind the wall. The Rhino revs its way through the muddy crater, drawing ominously close to the Blood Angel objective, and then it opens fire. They can actually see the Warlord as well. All these shots are going on the Blood Angel HQ, who is by himself back there. There's a plasma and a twin-link storm bolter and a snap-firing las cannon. Really dangerous volley. Lots of wounds getting through there. Basically, the Space Marine Warlord is down to 1 wound here and has to make 3 crucial invulnerable saves. Man down! Sean celebrates and Bob laments.
Can I do it for him?
Back to shooting now then with Deathy. firing his big blast at the top floor here, but it scatters off target. Next, the Noise Marines, going for that combat squad. They get a couple of hits there, but fluff their to wound rolls. Then in the Chaos Assault phase they try and charge, so we're going to get some Blood Angels Overwatch fire here with bolters rapid firing. They do a wound, and that's a failed save. And then to make matters worse, they fail charge. It's not all bad news though for the Chaos, because once again Defi regens a whole point with It Will Not Die. Blood Angels turn 5. This Bold Predator whizzes towards the enemy zone, mounting its ruined comrade there. Has to take a difficult terrain test though, which it passes. The backfield Blood Angel combat squad moves very cleverly, making sure the las cannon isn't forced to snap fire. And the other Bold Predator whizzes towards the opposite flank. This combat squad makes an amazing run roll of 6, so moves a colossal 12 inches. The front guy falling over there from exhaustion. They are heading towards the objective in the Chaos Zone, currently held by the Sorcerer and his last surviving Chaos Space Marine. Now that damned Assault Marine, this guy just doesn't know when to quit. He's moving forward again. Obviously wants revenge for the slaughter of his comrades, but he does have to take a terrain test, which he passes. Let the guns begin then with this combat squad, bolters and las cannon. Lots of hits there, white dice is the las. And the las cannon and a couple of bolters wound as well. These final Noise Marines have some saves to make then. The first one saves, and the second one saves, but the las cannon still kills the front guy. Then this entire Devastator squad shoots the last Noise Marine, heavy bolters and a crack missile using a Signum. Slightly overkill, but they want to get the job done. Here we go, needing 3s and a 2. That's a lot of hits. Rolling to wound now. That is shocking. Only 1 heavy bolter wound gets through. Wow. But he still fails his power armor save and dies. That's the last Noise Marine. This Predator guns for the Rhino's side armor. This is the one with the bolter side sponson, so basically loads of hits and it chips off a whole point. Then the long range battle resumes with Devastators gunning for Defi once again. Gets hot rolls with the plasma. Oh, and he fails one again. Has to take an armor save there, which he passes. The scatter is only 2 inches, so that will definitely hit from one of the plasma cannons. Next he's got a roll for his missiles. Oh! 2 more hits. Things don't look good for Defi. Oh, the plasma cannon fails to hurt it though. And Snake Eyes.
Yep. That's just terrible! I don't want my picture taken when I make terrible rolls.
The missile launchers fail and Defi stands strong. Now an assault cannon from the oncoming Predator. He can't even hurt Defi unless he rends here, so these are the to hit rolls. He will twin link those. Okay, that's 3 hits. He needs a rend. There it is. Okay, it's penetrated. A demonic save is needed. Which fails. Tense moment for the Defiler. Penetrating hit. It explodes! Shocking. Defi is no more. Combat squad las cannon in these ruins tries to take out the Rhino, but it fails. Chaos Space Marine turn 5. The Rhino moves up and deploys its Nurgle Marines. They're in a perfect position to seize this objective. And the lone Chaos Space Marine and Sorcerer realise they've got company, so the Sorcerer goes forward to meet the challenge head on. The Nurgle Marines unload all their guns into the Angels holding the objective. They get tons of hits, tons of wounds, and just wipe the squad out. That objective belongs to Nurgle. Then the final showdown. The Sorcerer charges in, dodging Overwatch fire, and takes on the Assault Marine. They've got the same initiative, but the Sorcerer goes first here. Gets a couple of hits, rolling to wound, AP3. 1 AP3 wound. The Assault Marine is going down. Can he save anything for pride here? Can he injure that HQ? He gets 1 hit, but fails to wound. It's a bridge too far, and Chaos have their victory. The winner has been decided then, but of course no matter the result, the Dorklords prize good sportsmanship above everything else.
Chaos is supreme!
Well, almost everything.